Hey people, it is Friday, July the 28th. It is 4:34 in the afternoon and it is an extremely hot 31 degrees Celsius with the humidex feeling closer to 40 degrees Celsius. And I'm on Quay, just a bit west of Bay Street, over in that direction. And I want to make my way up to Yonge and Dundas, but I do not want to walk out in this extreme hot weather on this third day in a row that we've had a heat warning in the city. So I think I'm going to try and walk from here at Queen's Quay and Bay all the way up to Yonge and Dundas through the path system, which is an indoor air-conditioned system of tunnels and corridors and pathways running both above and below ground under mostly the financial district, but it does extend all the way down to Queen's Quay and as far north as Dundas. And that is much better, stepping into this beautiful air-conditioned environment. So let's make our way through the path to escape the insane heat. This southernmost part of the path that runs through the south core part of the city is mostly above ground, but then once we pass through the financial district section of the path, it is below ground for the most part. So along the way, we'll see lots of signage that is confusing to many. We'll see many Rexalls and Shoppers Drug Marts and food courts. As well as a host of other shops and services. Some parts of it look like a fairly typical shopping mall. Other parts just look like blank walls. And here is a map of the path. So you can see how extensive it is. It's not just a straight line by any means. It connects dozens of major office buildings and condo towers in the southern half of downtown, mainly the financial district and the south core. So we entered right down here, and we're going to make our way all the way up to Yonge and Dundas, way up here. So that's like a good half-hour walk thereabouts, if you were to do it on the street, out in the elements. So I'm saving myself a half an hour of walking through extreme heat and humidity in comfort of an air-conditioned environment. Let's look down Harbor Street. And I believe the path is considered the largest subterranean network of tunnels in the world, actually. Of course, it's not all subterranean, but the original section of it is under the financial district. And that started building up in the 1970s when all the major bank towers in the financial district were constructed. Even the late 1960s with the TD Center. And the cool thing about the path is it gets continually expanded. New buildings are constructed and often provided with a connection to the path. So we went from one office building to another here so far. All kinds of shops and restaurants up in this direction. We're walking underneath the Gardner Expressway right now. And rush hour is underway. That's Lakeshore Boulevard down below. The Gardner runs above it. Doesn't look like much fun to be stuck in a car, although that guy's making time there. He decided to turn the Lakeshore Boulevard into his own personal drag racing strip. This can't be too smart. Well, I suppose the traffic is moving slowly enough that he probably won't get run over. But definitely not the safest thing to be doing. People tend to get pretty frustrated at rush hour on this stretch of street, and they take some crazy chances trying to save 2 seconds. This is another building connected to the path, Maple Leaf Square. It's a condominium and retail complex. And we're looking down into Maple Leaf Square itself, also sometimes called Jurassic Park when the Raptors are playing. And speaking of the Raptors, we are now in Scotiabank Arena, which is also connected to the path. And the air conditioning here is fantastic. Almost makes me want to hang out here a little longer. It's a nice little elevator alcove to get a view. And you can see the reflection of the CN Tower on the side of that office tower. And you can see the Sky Dome shimmering in the sun off to the west. And there's the southern entrance to Union Station, so we'll actually be walking through part of Union Station next. Of course, this elevated part of the path provides these awesome views, which we will not get once I head into the underground portion. And we're inside Scotiabank Arena. And we are inside Union Station. This is the Bay Concourse on the eastern end of the station. Very busy spot. People catching various GO trains. The commuter rail network for the Greater Golden Horseshoe, which is the urbanized area extending around the city of Toronto, with a number of nearby satellite towns and cities also. Looks like the down escalator is out of service. Oh, that's another up escalator, my bad. Here's the down escalator. A whole bank of them, in fact. So it's a straight shot to the next section of the path. But meanwhile, just look at the chaos here. And this is a Friday when rush hour tends to be lighter. We'll see how busy the path is right now. I haven't walked through there during a rush hour in a while. The financial district section of the path, that is, where all the office workers would be. And I can see that this coffee shop is finally opened over here behind this kiosk. This is a new addition. This has been construction hoarding for upwards of a year. It's nice to see it finally open, but look at that insane lineup. They must have amazing coffee. And it looks like we're outside now, but we're still indoors. It's still air conditioned. It's a glass roof over this portion. This is the moat separating Union Station, the building, from Union Station, the subway station. There are two ways you can go to get into the path. There's Brookfield Place is up that ramp, and the Royal Bank Plaza is right here. So let's just take Royal Bank Plaza. Those are both major office complexes. So each section of the path has its own major office complex that it's associated with. For example, we have Royal Bank Plaza here, Brookfield Place over there. And then you also have the Toronto Dominion Centre, First Canadian Place, Scotia Plaza, the Bay Adelaide Centre, and a number of others. Somebody was upset about something. I don't see. He must have ducked up the escalator or through the doors. Security doesn't seem too concerned. He just walked at a leisurely pace towards the disruption. So you can see this part looks just sort of like any other shopping mall. And we are heading into the Toronto Dominion Centre. And the design aesthetic of the section of the path corresponds with the office tower that you're walking underneath. So things take on a decidedly darker tone here under the Toronto Dominion Centre. And then once we come into the First Canadian Place, things brighten up to a almost white sort of aesthetic in keeping with the exterior of the office tower itself. Of course, the Toronto Dominion Centre towers are known for being dark black. It's certainly a lot quieter all of a sudden. Now that we're getting further into the financial district, I think it's becoming more apparent that office workers do tend to stay home in larger numbers on Friday. This might look a lot different if it were Tuesday or Wednesday. And there's some access to get up to street level. And we're entering First Canadian Place. And as I mentioned, everything suddenly brightens up. Nice water feature here. So there are a number of different directions I could go. I could go east, I could go west. But I'm going to go north as I make my way to Yonge and Dundas. First I have to walk to the east a bit though to get to Scotia Plaza.
No more.
And then from there it'll be a direct line north to Yonge and Dundas. It's the outside world again. Entering Scotia Plaza. And Scotia Plaza is known for its rich burgundy cladding, so the path matches that building. Some of these places are already closed for the day. So let's see how far we've come. So we started down here, and we made our way all the way up to here. So we still have this much further to go to get to Yonge and Dundas. One of several Winners stores you'll find in the path. Not as many as you'll find Shoppers Drug Marts though. And we're entering the Bay Adelaide Centre. Ooh, and the air conditioning kind of kicked it up a notch here. It feels all of a sudden about 5 degrees cooler. I'm loving this. And of course, the awesome thing about this is it's just as good for avoiding the cold in the winter as it is for avoiding the heat in the summer. Pumpernickel's coming soon. Looks like the seating has come before the restaurant. Tim Hortons now open. Zen Kyoto Sushi and Ramen coming soon. It's nice to see some new places. And another Shoppers Drug Mart, of course. And now we're entering the Hudson's Bay Company store. It's a upscale department store adjacent to the Saks Fifth Avenue. Oh, that's right. Zellers has reestablished itself in some of these Hudson's Bay stores. I'll have to do a separate video maybe to check out the Zellers on the lower floor here. And this is Pusateri's here, an upscale eatery with a number of different restaurant offerings under one roof. Lots of it seems to be closed right now. Well, that was just a quick detour through the Hudson's Bay Company store, because now we're entering the Eaton Centre, which is a very large enclosed shopping mall. Trying to plug in my power bank here. For some reason it doesn't want to plug in. We might not be able to make it all the way to Yonge and Dundas, although this is the last leg of the walk here through the Eaton Centre. I guess my power bank isn't charged enough. That's unfortunate. I might have to wrap up the video just shy of Yonge and Dundas. It's literally just another couple of minutes walk though, through the mall, to the north end of the mall, which is at Dundas Street. So it looks like I have to wrap things up unless I can get this power bank to kick in here. And it doesn't look like it, so thank you all for joining me on this walk through the path. We started at Queen's Quay, made our way all the way up to the Eaton Centre, just shy of Yonge and Dundas, which was my ultimate goal, but close enough, I suppose. So leave a comment down below if you enjoyed the walk. Let me know about my way to beat the elements here through the largest underground and partially above ground concourse system in the world under Toronto's financial district. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also make sure you hit that notification bell, that way you won't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. And there's also a super thanks button right down below if you'd like to support the channel that way. And you can find me on Instagram also under Quay Continuum. So let's see how much further I can get before this battery completely dies. Before I sign off. Maybe I'll make it after all. This is a huge mall though. It does take a good 5 minutes or so to walk through from one end to the other. maybe the power bank is actually keeping this camera alive. It doesn't show it as being connected though. Well, I won't argue, it's still going. And we're getting ever closer to Yonge and Dundas. And I think I might make it. I'm literally a stone's throw away. It'd be funny if mall security stopped me right now and told me I wasn't allowed to record so close to my goal. And will you look at that? I actually made it. There's zero etiquette when it comes to people's walking pathways, though, when you're trying to make your way through these areas. And back out into the disgusting furnace. So there you have it. I made it after all. So everything I said before when I thought my camera was going to die. Plus, be sure to keep checking back, because as always, I will continue.